In Christianity, prayer and fasting are two of the most significant spiritual disciplines. They are often practiced together to deepen one's relationship with God, seek divine guidance, and experience spiritual breakthroughs. Throughout the Bible, prayer and fasting are presented as powerful tools that not only strengthen faith, but also bring about transformation, healing, and divine intervention. For Christians, these practices offer a way to humble themselves before God and seek His will in their lives. Prayer is the foundation of a believer's relationship with God. It is a direct line of communication with the Creator, where Christians can express their thoughts, emotions, requests, and praises. Prayer is not just about asking for things, it's also about aligning one's heart with God's will and seeking His presence. Jesus emphasized the importance of prayer in Matthew 6:6, where He taught, "When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." In the Bible, prayer is often depicted as a powerful force that brings about change. For instance, James 5:16 states, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." This verse underscores that prayer is not passive. It has the power to move mountains, change hearts, and bring God's intervention into challenging situations. Fasting is another significant spiritual discipline that often goes hand in hand with prayer. In the Christian tradition, fasting involves voluntarily giving up food or certain pleasures for a period of time in order to focus on God. It is a way to humble oneself before the Lord, prioritize spiritual growth over physical needs, and seek God's guidance in important decisions or situations. In Matthew 17:15-21, KJV, we see a powerful example of the role prayer and fasting play in spiritual breakthroughs. A man comes to Jesus saying, "Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him." Jesus responds by rebuking the devil, and the boy is healed. When the disciples ask why they were unable to cast out the demon, Jesus tells them, "Because of your unbelief. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting." This passage emphasizes the importance of these spiritual practices in overcoming certain challenges and receiving God's intervention. Fasting is often used to intensify the effects of prayer. By denying the body's physical desires, a believer demonstrates their dependence on God and creates space to focus more fully on spiritual matters. The Bible offers numerous examples of fasting as a powerful tool for spiritual growth and divine intervention. In the Old Testament, we see leaders like Moses and Elijah fasting before encountering God. Moses fasted for 40 days while receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai, Exodus 34:28, and Elijah fasted before experiencing God's guidance at Mount Horeb, 1 Kings 19:8-9. In the New Testament, Jesus himself fasted for 40 days in the wilderness before beginning his public ministry, Matthew 4:1-2, setting an example for Christians of the importance of fasting as a preparation for spiritual work. When prayer and fasting are combined, they become a powerful spiritual weapon. Together, they allow believers to experience a deeper connection with God, gain spiritual insight, and seek breakthroughs in areas of life that seem insurmountable. Acts 13:2-3 describes how early Christians fasted and prayed before making important decisions. While they were worshiping the Lord and fasting, the Holy Spirit said, "Set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." So after they had fasted and prayed, they placed their hands on them and sent them off. One of the main reasons Christians practice prayer and fasting is to seek God's will, especially in times of uncertainty or difficulty. Through fasting, believers intentionally set aside distractions and commit to focusing on God's presence. For example, in the book of Esther, Queen Esther called for a fast before she approached the king to plead for the lives of her people. In Esther 4:16, she instructed, "Go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish." Esther's reliance on prayer and fasting enabled her to act with courage, and God ultimately delivered her people from destruction. By practicing these disciplines, Christians are reminded of their dependence on God and their need for His grace and guidance in every aspect of life. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content. Thank you.